Now, the impact of the deluge in the state of Jammu and Kashmir is evident through the pictures on your screens. They are visuals of the flyover at Jahangir Chowk in Srinagar before and after the floods. You can see the road on which vehicles plied is now being used as a safe zone by those affected by the massive floods. The flyover now leads onto a completely flooded street below. The Tawi River in Jammu is overflowing. Several bridges on the river have reportedly broken down, and the Indian Air Force is working to repair these bridges to enable connectivity. We have Ashwini joining us on the phone line with the latest. Ashwini, where exactly are you right now, and what really is the latest information coming from there?
Yeah, the rescue operation in Jammu has been completed, and now a relief operation has started. But most of the operation has been started from Jammu Technical Airport, and all equipments and the communication network is being sent from Jammu Technical Airport, the Kashmir Valley. And we have information by evening the partially some areas in Kashmir Valley, particularly in Srinagar city, out of 150 BSNL towers, around 10 to 15 towers will start working, and the VSATs have been sent around from Bangalore and Leh, and they are working. The BSNL teams rushed from Jammu to Srinagar, and they are working, and I think by evening some partially network will start. Second thing, the most of the things and the army and the air force, they are airlifting from Srinagar people. They are landing in Jammu, and some of the students they are stuck in even from Delhi student convent school. They have stuck in the Kashmir Valley, and there is no communication network between the administration between Jammu, Srinagar, and Delhi. And satellite phones are being sent by the BSNL people to Kashmir Valley, so that the administrative level, the Chief Minister, Governor, IG, Division Commissioner, and the police control, they can have a communication for the better administration and the toning of the administration. So several local NGOs, including the NDRF, Army, Air Force teams have been rushed to the areas, but Lalchok area there is a 4 feet water level, but most affected area in Kashmir Valley is the Jawaharnagar area. We have just no talk with the NDRF team. They said that 2.5 story buildings are under the water, and most of the casualties can be there also. But in downtown area, the rescue operation has not been started, but more boats are needed there, so that the people can be rescued from the Kashmir area. Most of the areas, Pulwama, Baramulla, this Bijbara area and Veeri area, the operation has been started in South Kashmir also. Yeah.
All right, Ashwini, thanks very much for that comprehensive report there. The main point coming through from Jammu, that some of the communication lines should be restored by evening. That's what Ashwini just told us over the phone, also informing us that a lot of students are in fact stranded in the valley, and because of communication lines between Jammu, Srinagar and Delhi being completely broken down, it has become a matter of urgency to really get these young students back to safety. Water levels in several areas of Srinagar have also begun to recede. Manaman got on to an army chopper and really got us a report on the areas from where water has already receded.
We are in an army aviation helicopter which is going to take a round of the flood affected areas in the Jammu region. Along with us present here in the helicopter is the General Officer commanding of the Tiger Division of the Indian Army, General Dushyant Singh. General Dushyant, could you just give us an overview? Could you just give us an overview of what the operations till now have been?
Okay, Operation Meghrahat, launched by the Rising Star Corps of Western Command under the stewardship of Tiger Division, started on the 4th of September when the situation of the flood started becoming grim. The Tawi, both Badi and Niki Tawi, were overflowing way beyond their danger mark. So was the Chenab River. 2 major areas which were affected by this were the Paragwal sector caused by the Jammu River and the Mandal Makwal area caused by the Tawi River which flows through Jammu. The Tawi River in its wake damaged two major bridges. One you are seeing right in front of you, in which the Rising Star Corps Engineer regiments are building a bridge to fly heavy vehicles into the Makwal area. Currently Makwal area can only be reached by light vehicles. Once this is through, we will be able to supply to the entire civil population, which is around 15,000 people here. The army established 3 camps in this region in which we gave support, civic action, medical support and medicines to
How difficult was it, sir, in the initial days when the floods came? How difficult was it to respond quickly to save such a large number of people?
Well, I can tell you in one single line that we were marooned, and in this marooned condition we launched 22 columns at the peak of the flood situation. Almost 10 columns in Paragwal, 7 columns in the pocket sector, that is Makwal Mandal, and 4 columns rest other places in Araspura sector.
As of now, General Dushyant, what is the situation, particularly in Poonch, which we believe is cut off from Jammu?
As of now, the upper reaches are still in a bad situation. The Rising Star Corps and the Tiger Division are providing all the help required for the people in the upper reaches of 16 Corps and 15 Corps.
Now, as you can see, the helicopter right now is hovering over a place where a makeshift bridge is being made. The army engineer columns are hard at work. They are trying to provide connectivity to all those areas which remain cut off because of this heavy flood which came and hit this region. As General Dushyant, the GOC of Tiger Division, said, all efforts are being made by the army, the division and the corps, and as well as the Western Command in order to make the situation come in hand. With camera person Dilip Sahu, Manaman Singh China in Jammu for Headlines Today.
We have Manaman joining us on the phone line now for more on the story. Manaman, what is the latest as far as rescue and relief work within Srinagar city is concerned? Because that has been a matter of urgency for the army as well.
Well, yes, indeed. And within Srinagar, the army is battling this.
Right, we'll get... Manaman, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You were telling us about what the army is concentrating its efforts on currently.
Yes, as far as Srinagar is concerned, can you hear me, Aviral?
Yes, Manaman.
As far as Srinagar is concerned, the army is now concentrating on reaching out to those people who may be invalid, who are having some medical problem, or who are children who are children which are very young. There are ladies who are.
Right, there appears to be an audio problem there. Getting in touch with Manaman, and remember that has been a major problem as far as connectivity is concerned. We had spoken to Ashwini a little while ago, who said that some of these communication lines should be restored by evening. That efforts are already being made from Jammu to ensure that these BSNL lines are restored by evening, so we can expect partial connectivity by the end of the day. But water levels in several areas of Srinagar, as Manaman told us earlier, have begun to recede. Earlier in the day, we'd seen people stranded, many of them on rooftops and flyovers. The NDRF and the army have, however, continued to carry out rescue operations within the city, and of course the remote far-flung areas where connectivity has been hampered, not just because of the phone lines but because of many of the bridges over the Jammu River being completely destroyed, and this after 5 days of incessant rain. Today there finally is some respite, and the Met Department has predicted that clear skies will be there for the next 3 to 4 days. Let's listen into this latest report sent to us by Shuja ul Haq from Srinagar.
Around 2 days after the deadly floods have struck Kashmir Valley and particularly Srinagar city, the entire region is still groping to brace for the impact. We are right now in the heart of Srinagar city, Lal Chowk, and most of the establishment around here are under the water. Now look at this place. This is one of the tallest flyovers of Srinagar city, and there are people stranded on this flyover just waiting desperately for some help. If you can see in these visuals, on the right side is the civil secretariat where the chief minister's office is situated. Then there is the high court of Srinagar city where a lot of people are still stranded. Look at these visuals. If you can see, even the vehicles of top-ranking high court judges are stranded right there. On the left side are buildings of high importance, police control room and other administrative units. This is the condition in the heart of Srinagar. Look at them. Look at these desperate people waiting for some sort of help, some rescue to come around here. Here we've got the Indian Air Force right now here. Look at this chopper. It has come here to rescue people. Look at this MiG-17 chopper that has just arrived here, probably to see the situation and rescue these people from this region. There are thousands of people still stranded in the adjoining buildings. On the left side, the NDRF teams have brought in some people in their boats. Look at them. They're rowing their boats, motorboats, from one of the highly populated civilian areas of Srinagar city. A desperate situation here. Almost all the aspects of human life right now in front of you in these visuals. There are rescue teams, there are people desperate on this flyover, waiting, watching how anyone can come and rescue their near and dear ones, and also somehow bring some relief to them who are stranded around in these regions. Very, very difficult situations. Even after 2 days, the water though has receded a little bit, but as of now, the sufferings of the people in Srinagar continue to loom large. With cameraman Roof, Shujaul Haq in Srinagar, Firelines today.
Well, Indian Air Force rescue helicopters were seen reaching out to those stranded in far-flung areas. IAF has deployed 61 aircraft so far for the rescue and relief work in the state. Helicopters were seen airdropping relief material as well. People were seen getting onto the roof of multi-story buildings.
Well, we are in the Cheetah helicopter of Army Aviation Corps of Indian Army, and right now we are hovering somewhere near Jammu along with the General Officer Commanding of the Tiger Division, General Dushyant Singh. Out here you can see the river, which is still in some sort of spate. Right now the water level has come down considerably. We are told that this whole area was inundated. It was filled up with water. The villages here had to be evacuated by the army. Out there in the distance, the flooded plains which you can see, those are in Pakistan. Those are Pakistani villages which are still flooded. This entire area slopes from the Indian side towards the Pakistani side. The water has considerably drained from the Indian side, as you can see. The relief efforts of the army are still on. You can see the army equipment in place. The heavy earth moving equipment has been put in place. This is absolutely right on the international border that we are flying, and you can see intense relief efforts are still continuing. This is the ditch cum month of the Indian Army where the troops are deployed. There are border observation posts. These troops were also marooned along with the villagers, but they swung into action as soon as the flood hit this area, and they were responsible for saving thousands of lives of the villagers who were living in this area. With camera person Dilip Sahu, Manaman Singh China in Jammu for Headlines Today.